Academy for the Chanute Area Veterans Memorial. My name is George Culbertson, and it is my privilege to be serving as commander for Borster May American Legion Post 170. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please stand for the presentation of colors by members of the National Guard's 891st Engineering Battalion, assisted by the Chanute Honor Guard. The Chanute High School Ensemble will present the national anthem as the flag of our country is raised.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please remain standing as the President of the Chanute High School Student Government, Carter Prostrom, leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Carter, for representing your school so well, and thank you to the ensemble. You do a great job as always. At this time, I would like to recognize a couple of groups present here today. You may be seated. You don't have to stand. Sorry. We have approximately 400 students here from USD 413. These young men and women raised several $100s towards the construction of this memorial, and it was a pleasure working with them to realize their goal. Let's hear it for this fine group of youth from our community. Next, I want to recognize the driving force behind this project, the American Legion Riders of Post 170. While the idea for this memorial was born through the American Legion Riders, please remember that without the support of all the American Legion families and many other local organizations in the city of Chanute, we could have never achieved what you see here today. Riders, all standing, raise your hand, be recognized. There are two other American Legion Rider posts represented here today that came up to help us with this dedication. Post 20 out of Coffeyville, Post 139 out of Independence. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming up. The motto of the American Legion Riders is alone we can do so little, and together we can do so much. And I believe that's a perfect phrase for how this project has come together. Today, November 11, 2013, is a very special day, not only for me, but also for every individual and organization that has supported this project since its inception. But more importantly, it's a special day for our veterans, because this memorial was built for them as a tribute to all the men and women who have served this great country and to all who will serve in the future. At this time, I ask all veterans to please stand and be recognized. Thank you for your service. Today, we dedicate this memorial to all the Chanute area veterans, past, present, and future. We must never forget the sacrifices made by these brave men and women while protecting our freedoms and our way of life. At this time, I'm going to give you a little bit of history of how this came about. In 2006, Wendell Allen and I traveled to Pickaway, Kansas to attend a dedication ceremony for a Veterans Memorial constructed by the area residents. For those of you who are not familiar with Pickaway, it's a very small town. They built a very nice memorial. Upon returning to Chanute, we talked about the need to have such a memorial here in Chanute. We presented the idea to the American Legion Riders of Borster May, American Legion Post 170 here in Chanute. A vote was taken and a decision was made to develop a plan for the Chanute Area Veterans Memorial. This project was later put on hold in order to participate in the Kansas Honor Flight program. The American Legion Riders raised over $60,000 to take 42 area World War II veterans on a trip to Washington, D.C. Many of those World War II veterans are with us here today. I would like to ask all these veterans who attended the trip to please stand. These gentlemen are our hometown heroes. On November 10th, 2010, the American Legion Riders approached the Chanute City Commission and received approval to construct the proposed memorial here in Santa Fe Park. The City of Chanute pledged to supply the building site, the excavation, and all the electrical requirements and maintenance of the lighting. The focal point of this monument is a semicircular wall tapering from 4 feet to 8 feet tall. This wall is constructed from black granite and is laser etched, depicting images of U.S. conflicts beginning with the Revolutionary War to the current conflict in Afghanistan. This wall will serve as a reminder of the courage and resolve of the American soldiers who have unselfishly served this great country. The center of the memorial is made up of 4x8 granite pavers with the names of area veterans who unselfishly heard the call of duty left their homes and families to defend the American way of life. It is important to remember that for every name on these pavers, there is also a story. It's a story of their service and the sacrifices of their family. This memorial faces to the east towards the rising sun, representing a new day in the history of this great nation. The sidewalk leading to the memorial is made up of granite pavers, recognizing local organizations and individuals who donated towards the construction, along with the benches that surround the outside perimeter. On the south side of the sidewalk is a granite podium and a plaque dedicating the Chanute Area Veterans Memorial to all veterans past, present, and future. On the north side of the walk is a statue of an American soldier. This statue was donated by Staff Sergeant Melvin Eubanks, who is a member of the Army National Guard's 891st Engineering Battalion, formerly the Chanute. On the granite base is a plaque honoring the service of the 891st and previous units that were headquartered here in Chanute. The American Legion Riders spent a great deal of time, effort, resources, and money on the design and location of this memorial. Our goal was actually twofold. The primary goal was to design a memorial that would do justice to the sacrifices made by those who have served in the past, and to those who are presently serving, and also to those who will serve this great nation in the future. At the same time, we also wanted to honor the many sacrifices made by the families that they left behind. Secondly, we wanted this design to be unique to Chanute, Kansas. It was designed to have the ability to be expanded by future generations. As veterans ourselves, we understand that there will always be conflicts requiring the bravery of our young men and women in uniform. It is our hope that this memorial to our veterans may offer them and their families closure if needed, and acknowledge that their service and sacrifice did not go unnoticed by the citizens and businesses of Chanute and the surrounding area. It is also our hope that as the word spreads of this tribute to the American soldier, that his memorial will become a travel destination, bringing visitors to our city. We want to show everyone who visits this memorial that the citizens and businesses of this community are truly proud of the men and women who serve our country to keep us free and protect our way of life. The cost to construct this memorial to honor the area's hometown heroes far exceeded the estimated cost of $250,000. When you factor in donated materials and man hours involved in construction, I have no idea what that number would be. I am so proud of the entire community and their support of this project. Thousands of dollars was invested by not only the American Legion families, but many other organizations, businesses, groups, and individuals throughout the area to make this memorial a reality. I only wish I had time to recognize them all, but they do know who they are. I cannot even begin to remember all of the many fundraisers that have taken place over the past 3 years. The American Legion Riders fully understood that this undertaking was going to be a very daunting task, to say the least. We will also be the first to admit that in a depressed economy, it was even more challenging than we had hoped. We simply renewed our dedication towards the completion of the memorial. We just had to work harder and explore every possible opportunity to see this through to completion. Because of the importance of this project, not only to our veterans, but also to our community, no corners were cut and no expenses were spared. It simply had to be done correctly the first time. We as American citizens must never forget the sacrifices made by all who have served this great nation, protecting our freedoms and ensuring the freedoms of our children. Far too many of these veterans, men, women, brothers, and sisters have unselfishly paid the ultimate price and given their very lives to protect those freedoms. The success we all share today in our daily lives would not be possible without the sacrifices made by the men and women in uniform. They made us who we are today. We must never forget. As Commander of Bolster-May, American Legion Post 170, I extend a heartfelt thank you to all who helped to make this a reality. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, on behalf of everyone involved, I present to you the focal point of the Chanute Area's Veterans Memorial. Riders, please remove the cover. So what do you think? Was it worth the time? At this point, there are several people I'd like to recognize that have played a large part into this. Lynn Ranneberger, Commander, Sons of the American Legion, Squadron 170. Cheryl Allen, President, American Legion, Auxiliary Unit 170. Scotty Love, Commander, Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 1654. Sam Boudreau, Director of Public Safety, Interim City Manager. Lori Gates, City of Chanute, Director of Utilities. Martha McCoy, Chanute City Commissioner. Jim Taylor, Taylor Crane and Rigging. Mr. Taylor Crane donated his crew and his equipment to set this wall, and for that we're very grateful. Steve Stanfield, I don't think he's here with us today. Where's he at? Stand up. Mr. Stanfield, at the last minute when we found out we were in a little bit of crunch financially, the concrete bill came in a little more than we anticipated, and he graciously took care of that for us. Tim Heenan, stand up here. Randy Pryor from Ashford Cement Company has been a great help. Chris Moore is the Veterans Chairman for Elks Lodge 806. Kenny and Janet Rollo. Rollo Rally Run has been going on for 7 years. They have donated a very large amount of money to business, and we will always be in your debt. A person that actually designed the concept for this memorial cannot be with us here today. But this is the daughter of American Legion writer Greg Pollock. Her name is Mandy Pollock Will. Bob Cross, the artwork concept. Dean Joyce, Buffalo Forms, Roofing and Drawings. Dustin Wilson, Wilson Builders was our contractor. Dr. James Hardy, Superintendent, USD 413. There are a lot of other individuals and groups who played a big part in doing this, and I certainly don't want anyone to think that their contributions to the project were not equally important. Just don't have time to list everyone, but they've done an amazing job. A couple other groups that need some recognition. The employees of the City of Chanute have gone above and beyond their day-to-day duties to see that this project was completed on time. These individuals worked relentlessly, evenings and weekends, to get the job done. I want them to know that their efforts have not gone unnoticed. Words cannot express my gratitude of the American Legion and the community. Thank you. And a special thank you to Tony Masters at Tony's Lawn and Irrigation. Saturday morning, what you see around you was just dirt. By noon, with the help of city crews and many individuals who volunteered to help, Tony and crew transformed this area into what you see today. A semi-load of sod was placed in just a couple of hours, and a sprinkler system installed. The rest of the area was seeded and covered with a straw mat that's out to the edges. I'm not sure if Tony's here. It was a very last-minute thing for him, and he told me, he said it really wasn't on his to-do list on Saturday. So, recognize Dale Allen, past Department of Kansas Commander. And I also want to thank American Legion Post 102 of Erie for everything they have done to support this project. Bear with me, I got a lot of pages here. So. At this time, we have some speakers that's going to say a few words. First one would be Brad Perdue, Director, American Legion Riders, Chapter 170, Chinook, Kansas.
Good afternoon and welcome. For the past 2 years, I have had the honor and privilege of serving as the American Legion Riders Director for Chinook Chapter 170. This has been a very busy and rewarding time for our chapter. In the past, I have been proud of our accomplishments and service to our community and veterans. Programs like our scholarships awards, our Christmas Adopt a Family, the Honor Flight that George mentioned, where we traveled with several of our local World War II veterans to Washington, D.C. to visit the World War II Memorial and other Washington memorials and sites. This accomplishment, however, will outweigh all that we have done so far. When the ALR voted to move forward with this project, my first thought was, oh my God, what have we gotten ourselves into? This is too big a project for us, and it was. What started as an ALR project quickly became a joint project with the help of all the American Legion families. We could not have done this without the help of the American Legion, the Sons of the American Legion, and the American Legion Auxiliary. Thank you everyone in the Legion family who has helped with this endeavor. I would also like to extend a special thanks to ALR Secretary Dave Hansen and Chinook Area Veterans Memorial Committee Chairperson and Committee Person Mike Hansen and Larry Yates for the untold hours that they've spent on this project. I would also like to thank everyone who has donated their time and money to this project. From everyone who bought pavers, from the Elks, the City of Chinook, Ash Grove, the Rollo family, to the students that came to our meetings and donated their Peacemaker Awards, to the kids that emptied out their piggy banks and donated their savings to this cause. This is your memorial. American Legion Riders and members of the American Legion family, be proud of what we have accomplished. This hallowed place will be here long after we are gone. We have honored and enshrined the veterans of our community in this place as we set out to do. Thank you all veterans for your service and your sacrifice. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America.
Brenda Harrison, Exalted Ruler, Elks Lodge 806. This organization, without their help, we wouldn't be here today.
Good afternoon. I want to thank the American Legion Riders for including the Chanel Elks Lodge 806 in today's service and for asking me to speak. We are proud of the American Legion Riders and pleased to be part of such a beautiful memorial that is now a landmark in our community. Since the early days of Elkdom, the Veterans Service Commission has patriotically served those Elks who have fought for our great nation. Elks are a community, and no matter where you go in the country, there is an Elks Lodge right around the corner with more than 850,000 members and 2,000 lodges nationwide. Elks are providing charitable services that help build strong communities. When the Chanute Elks Lodge first learned about the Legion Riders Veteran Memorial Project, we knew we wanted to be on board. We hosted several fundraisers to help support the project. The Legion Riders even joined up with the Elks arm in arm and worked with us for the last 3 years with our annual Elk Stock event. With the Elk Stock events and all other fundraising contribution, the Chanute Elks Lodge were able to donate over $18,000 to the Chanute area Veterans Memorial. We look forward to continuing to work with the American Legion and see what other great things we can accomplish together. All Elks are proud of our Elks National Service Commission, going on since 1917 and building and donating the first Veterans Hospital. Our history is long, our work is humble, but our history is proud. Never forgetting our motto, so long as there are veterans, the benevolent and protective Order of Elks will never forget them. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce Kevin Bertho, Mayor of Chanute. As I said earlier, without the support of this city, we couldn't do it.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for joining us in dedicating this wonderful memorial and recognizing our veterans for their unwavering service to America. We come together to honor the brave fighting men and women of this city and the surrounding area who have, through selfless service, underwritten our freedom as American citizens. This memorial is a fine example of what can be accomplished when a group of people have a vision and are able to gain support of their community. The American Legion, the Legion Riders, the City of Chanute, and countless others have made this Veterans Memorial possible. Long hours of planning, fundraising, and manual labor have been required to achieve this great task. As those before us have made history, we too make history today as we unveil and present to the world our attempt to honor these American patriots. It is indeed an honor to be part of this dedication today. As a personal note, on July 4th, 1755, 258 years ago, a man named John Locke was born in Frederick, Maryland. At the age of 20, 3 days before his 21st birthday, on July the 1st, 1776, he enlisted in the Maryland militia. He fought conflicts and battles in the states of New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania as a soldier of the Flying Camp Battalion, commanded by Colonel Charles Greenberry Griffith. He survived that war and later went on to fight in the Whiskey Rebellion and served as a captain in the War of 1812. John Locke was my 5th great-grandfather. So it is indeed an honor to be here today. It is indeed an honor to have the blood of an original American patriot flowing through my veins. On July of this year, I received a membership into the National Society, the Sons of the American Revolution. For over 230 years, brave men and women have given something of themselves to this great country. Some have given this supreme sacrifice, laying down their lives to defend the freedoms that we so many times take for granted. Today, as we reflect on the blessings of liberty, freedom, and the ability to worship God as we choose. Let us thank our Heavenly Father and ask Him to give us faithfulness to be good stewards of the freedom He has granted us, to let us never forget the ones who have paid the great price for our freedom. To all the veterans here today, thank you. Thank you for setting aside your personal goals and dreams to serve and sacrifice for your country. May God bless you. May God bless our soldiers and veterans. And may God bless America. Thank you very much.
Next, I'd like to introduce Mike Forbes, Plant Manager for SI Memorials.
Good afternoon and thank you. SI Memorials is very honored to be here for the dedication of the Chanute Area Veterans Memorial. Today we especially recognize our veterans, those currently serving in our armed forces. We thank you for your service, and we'd like to recognize and congratulate the members of the committee and all the groups of the community that have come together to make this memorial a reality. It's truly a one-of-a-kind memorial in its design and composition. It's one of the more challenging installations that we have had to install and construct. The mural on the memorial is a beautiful and vivid rendering of the history of the sacrifices that our countrymen and women have made throughout the history of our country. When we look upon these images, we are thankful for their courage and for the freedoms that we enjoy because of their brave actions. We're privileged to work with this committee and this community to make this dream a reality, in providing a dignified tribute that this community can be proud of for generations to come. Thank you.
Next, it's an honor to introduce the Department of Kansas American Legion Vice Commander, Emery McKinney.
Good afternoon, Chanute, Kansas. We are gathered here on this Veterans Day to dedicate this new Veterans Memorial. What a great tribute to our veterans, past, present, and future. This everlasting memorial honors those who have served our great nation, those that continue to serve, and those who will answer the call to duty when their time comes. I cannot think of a better or more fitting tribute to those who protect the freedom that we enjoy. As I look out among you, I am reminded that there are hometown heroes who are not with us today. Some continue to serve in uniform, and some have paid the ultimate sacrifice to ensure our nation's freedom. This memorial will always remind us of their efforts have not been in vain, that we are ever thankful for what they have done for their families, friends, community, state, and nation, and that our city of Chanute has chosen to honor them from this day forward, not just for the community, not for every Kansan, but for every American to share. I want to thank the American Legion Riders, the Legion family of Chanute Post 170 for their endless efforts these past 3 years in making the Veterans Memorial a reality. Your fundraising, securing corporate donations, designing the memorial, obtaining the location and materials have brought forth this beautiful tribute for our service members, past, present, and those yet to come. Your goal is not only to honor the veterans, but to honor the sacrifices of the families left behind for the call to duty, shows in the beauty of this memorial. It was a daunting task to raise the funds and complete this in only 3 years, but the American Legion Riders met the challenge with fortitude and strength to make this day a reality. I would also like to recognize the city of Chanute for understanding the need for a lasting memorial to the servicemen and women of this area. Thank you for stepping up to the plate and giving of yourself the breath of life in this endeavor. This memorial now stands as a reminder that we must never forget the sacrifices for all who have served to protect our freedom and ensuring the continued freedom of our country and our children. The city of Chanute has chosen to honor those sacrifices and to stand up and show that they will never forget. I am honored to stand here with you. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this day. Thank you.
We're also honored today to have Senator Jeff King,